Hello, welcome back to Bedtime with Bruce. I am Bruce, this is Albie.
Hello.
You're at our show, thanks for coming. Let's see, if you've joined us before, welcome back, and if you're just now discovering us, welcome. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can come to our site, bedtimewithbruce.com. We have a new Twitter account. What are we on Twitter?
Bedtime W Bruce.
Okay, so I'm not really down with Twitter. I don't know what we're doing with that, but we're doing it now. So yeah, join us.
So tweet us or
tweet us. Yes.
Twitter our tweet.
Yeah. Usually we start out with fan mail or hate mail or whatever mail has come our way, but we have gotten none today. So I'm not sure what that means, but if you'd like to contact us, compliment us, hate us, love us, whatever. Suggestions, questions. If you're just going through some shit and you want us to help you out with it, we can try. You can reach us at, bedtimewithbruce@gmail.com.
Correct.
And all this is linkable on our website. So you can find our links on the site and go straight to it.
And there's a podcast.
And we're available in a podcast now. We got two people yesterday, someone in China. We got another person in China watching us now, and someone in Brazil. We finally have...
That's awesome.
We have finally reached out to South America.
Maybe it's all that soccer we were talking about.
Did we talk about soccer?
Not at all.
I don't think we've ever talked about soccer.
No, but let's do so tonight.
But since we did it tonight, since we said soccer, let's put that as a link, and maybe
search
people
tag
start
and people can find it.
looking for soccer.
All right. If you're listening to us on our podcast, don't just listen, watch the show, right?
Yeah.
You're missing a lot.
Or just listen and envision us to look however you want.
I have a face for radio.
Okay. So you got anything before we bring on our guest?
I'm excited about tonight's show. That's about it.
Really? This is the first time you've been excited about the show?
This week.
Okay.
I get excited every week.
Well, our guest this evening.
We have more than one.
Is his name is Ronnie. And I am just meeting him for the first time tonight, so this should be interesting. I don't know anything about him by way of an introduction, so let's just go ahead and bring him out. Come on out, Ronnie.
How's it going, guys?
Ronnie, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, man. Nice to meet you, Albie.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
You've watched the show before.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them.
Okay. So you know, and the people that have watched before know that every night we pretend like we're being sponsored by somebody, and we let you pick a beverage, and your beverage choice was Arnold Palmer. So, Arnold Palmer, thank you so much, Arizona Tea, for sponsoring us.
Yes.
Not really, but
I've seen this one before.
thank you.
Not really, but quite often.
This is what made me think of the drink.
Ah.
And Ronnie said, I don't drink out of cans.
Yep.
I must have ice. So we have provided ice as well. So thank you, ice machine.
We're a little bit more civilized, maybe.
Yes, we are. Hey,
It's
wonders
possible.
to the show.
There we go.
Oh, that's good.
Better on ice, huh?
Smooth.
I wish I hadn't brushed my teeth. So, as you may or may not know, we start out every show by talking about pet peeves.
Yes,
we
I
find it's a
noticed
good
that.
icebreaker. So, what pet peeves have you brought for us tonight?
All right, I know there's one. When you get stuck behind the old lady at the Circle K, you know, and you're waiting, and all I need is a pack of smokes, $5, boom, I'm out of there. And she needs her lotto, but she doesn't fill nothing out, so she's got to stand there for 5 minutes and fill everything out.
Yes.
And then she takes one step away, and you're like, finally. And then she's like, oh, I forgot something. And then she's got to do it all over again, and then it's 59 cents, and she's got to count out all the pennies. So that's a big deal to me.
I agree. Lottery fucks up progress.
They need a
at
separate
counters.
line for lotto.
Like they have at grocery
It
stores.
should all be automated. You shouldn't need a person for lotto. It should be a totally separate area in the store.
It's a good idea.
I agree.
Put your dollar bills in
And I am someone who does play the lottery games.
Mhm.
So I'm sometimes that guy, but I try to be the most efficient as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to do what you got to do. You don't change what you do because of it, but try to be quick about it.
Sure. You try to make it the most efficient way possible. And some people, they don't have. I mean, some of these people, they're insane. They come with a stack of money. They know how much it's going to cost, and they spit out everything. They just, I want this, and it should cost $38. You know,
a Waffle House.
Yeah. It's like the Waffle House of gambling. Yes. That's,
I like
Okay, so that's a good pet peeve. Have you watched the show enough to know what my big pet peeve is?
Fat chicks with little tits.
that.
Yes.
I got that one a few times.
Yes. Well, I try to mention that every show because we feel that if we keep talking about it, maybe we can do something about the problem and help solve that problem.
You should get a fat chick with little tits on the show.
That's a great idea.
I think that would be...
Wouldn't we make her cry, though? That would
Maybe.
be nice.
You'd have to find a hard-skinned, cool chick, but they're out there.
Yeah.
But it would be fun.
They are, and you're right. They are out there, and they are kind of tough because life has dealt them a rough hand.
They would have to be tough. That's our major cause here, though.
Because
You
when
know
it
what?
comes to
That's
big chicks, that's all you got going for you is big tits.
Right.
Right.
And I know great personality sometimes, but it's
That only
Right.
goes so far.
it's right. And that's what I've always said. If you're a fat chick with small boobs, either get a boob job
Mhm.
or lose some weight. You pick.
I say both.
You can be a small chick with small boobs.
That's
That
fine.
works
That's
out.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Yes.
But to be a fat chick with small boobs, it's just that's too
even
straight.
better. You know what? Actually, a skinny chick and if her boobs are too big, that's almost just as bad to me. Because it's weird looking. Not that I
Yeah,
don't
but
like
that's
big boobs,
freakish.
but if
That's-
she's too skinny. But I understand.
That's
It's not
freakish.
fat chicks with small boobs.
That's
definitely
freakish in a
worse.
sexy way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess
Fat
you're
chicks with small boobs
You're
is
right.
freakish in a.
If you're going to
I
be
don't
in
know.
balance one way or the other,
I
that's
get-
the way to be on
right.
balance.
Yeah,
Right.
I suppose you're right about that.
This is actually that is the most I've ever been able to get engaged with anyone in this conversation. Thank you for that.
Ronnie
No
is
problem.
really cool, good to hang out with, good to talk to. He's an awesome guy.
Okay, so are we done with pet peeves, or you got another one?
I think, I'm sure I have more, but it's got to happen. You know how it is. It's not a pet peeve till it pisses me off, then it's a pet peeve. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
So anything, everything. I
you be
guess.
sure. That's good.
Yes.
A few of our guests have all said, I don't really have any. I'm laid back. And I know personally that the people that are saying this aren't laid back.
Yeah.
And they do have pet peeves, but they just don't want to talk about it.
It's hard to think. I mean, I had to think of one because I knew you were going to ask, and that I thought a little bit because it is like that. You feel it, and it's bad.
Mhm.
But you can't think of it offhand. But
Okay.
you're coming on the show, man. Think of something.
Exactly.
I appreciate your preparedness. That's good. So, okay, so you got another drink going. What are you drinking in that cup?
See, this is half and half pink lemonade.
Ah,
And I guess, Cape Coral, for whatever reason, doesn't
Yeah.
have this
this
kind.
is true.
And I just happened to bring my cup with me that has a little left, so I figured before I
Are you going
drink
to
all
go shut
this,
this down?
yeah, it'll be gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got another one for you,
Let
too.
me tell
We're
you,
gonna keep
two
it
of
going.
these fill up this cup, and you can ask my girl. I'll go through 6 of those in a day, so 2 is no problem.
All right. All right.
I have a pet peeve. I came up with another one. People without a logic filter in their brain.
Good.
Some of you may know if you watch the show, I have a baby on the way, right? And my lovely wife brought home a kitten a few weeks ago. I've been told by no less than 18 people to be careful because the cat will steal the baby's breath, steal their soul, and kill the baby.
So just I want to be clear on this.
Okay.
Who is lacking the logic here? The people telling you this, or are you furious at your wife for bringing home a soul-sucking animal that's going to kill your baby?
That's good.
Like, who doesn't have logic here?
The people that tell me this, that the cat's going to steal the baby's soul or steal its breath or kill the baby.
That sounds like a lot of voodoo shit. Are you hanging out with some
No, these are grown adults, and I just want to say
from
to them,
Haiti, from Port-au-Prince?
no, just normal people. And I want to say to them, you're an adult. Do you actually believe that's a real
That
thing?
a cat will steal a baby's
Right.
breath?
Yeah, that's kind of
I-
weird.
I did research on it because it's a
It's
popular
like
myth.
a wives' tale. I never heard
Yeah,
that.
it's a wives' tale. Before they understood what SIDS is, it's a horrible thing, sudden infant death syndrome. When that would happen, if there was a cat in the area, they would get the blame because cats were associated with like
Wow.
evil and black magic and stuff like that. So
And nobody bothered to tell the
witches,
Wives' Tale Commission
no,
that science has since disproven that.
exactly.
It's weird we carry all them superstitions back from so far. We should be smarter
Right.
than that.
And
No.
when you
Back
look at
then-
where it came from, sure. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like when you sneeze, people say "bless you."
because they thought that you died briefly.
Well, through my research, I found that they thought that when you sneezed, evil spirits could get into your body.
I always thought it's
So
because
they
your
were-
heart stopped beating.
I heard that.
There's
one.
a lot of different explanations because when the main reason becomes so ludicrous that people don't believe it, kind of the reason for why the thing continues changes because it used to be the cat takes the baby's soul.
Yeah, so instead
That's
of
not
getting
very
rid of it,
realistic.
they just change it.
So then it takes its breath, and that's not kind of weird. So now it suffocates it, but it's still all not true.
My little sister, when we were kids, let the cat sleep on her head
Mhm.
one night, like across her forehead.
Mhm.
My dad was a doctor. Weeks later, my dad had to take her to the operating room and cut a fungus out of her head and put it in a test tube. I saw it. It looked like a sea creature, like that long, like this nasty thing that was in my sister's forehead.
I thought you were going to say it took her brain. She was really dumb.
No. The truth was much more horrible. It was.
Mhm.
So I'm terrified. I have a little fear of cats
I don't
sleeping.
like
Like I'm
cats.
scared just to wake up and find some cat. And I don't own a cat, so
Yeah.
that would be like twice as terrifying because
Right.
there'd be no reason for a
Mhm.
cat being in my house.
I hate cats.
I don't like animals, period.
But see, where I live, they're like rats. We have millions of them, and they breed wild in the little neighborhood I live in, and
It tastes like chicken.
I hate them. I wish that was true because I probably would eat them and save some money because they're all over the place.
You live in a neighborhood overrun with stray cats and a place that has pink lemonade Arnold Palmer's.
Yeah.
In the ghetto.
A little bit. It's close to it, kind of, but it's not actually. It fluctuates because there's a few people who own places back there, but then there's a lot of renters. So sometimes it's nice because you got a lot of nice people, and then it fluctuates, you know. The economy's bad, the rent gets cheaper, and the shadier characters move in. So
Sure.
it goes up and down.
What
it's
category?
like
What category are you in? Are you in the shady characters that have moved?
No,
in, or are you
I'm in the owned and category.
Okay, so you're a homeowner.
Yes.
But when well, yes, I will be soon enough. You know, the banks own my home. But
Okay.
no,
Well, yeah, the bank owns all of our homes, right?
Sure.
Until it's paid off.
Well, that's what's happening to this neighborhood too. Well, all the people around me are renting, and they're getting. We came home from vacation, and the kids in the neighborhood had spray painted everyone's house around us.
no,
They didn't touch our house. I don't know what we did that was so good, but.
Maybe they've seen the show.
Yeah. That's Bruce's house.
They shouldn't be watching it, you little kids. You're
Yeah,
not
right?
supposed to be watching the show.
Yeah, like
Little fuckers.
18 and up or so.
Yeah. Do we have a warning on there still?
On the podcast, but I don't think on anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the people in China and Brazil that are watching us are old enough.
But you need that. Don't hope they're not old enough. Because then you make the news, man. And then, so you need that publicity. That'll work.
No such thing as bad press, right?
No, definitely not. It's all good.
That's a good point. All right. So, what else were we going to talk about tonight? I don't even remember.
I'm wearing
Albie had mentioned Mars.
Oh, yeah, that's the topic of the day.
So
Because why? What's going on with Mars?
I guess they think we're realistically getting ready to pick some people and start training them to send them out there.
Do we have something on Mars right now?
Oh, it
that's-
just-
Oh yeah,
Hey,
well, we got a couple different things if
Um,
I'm not mistaken.
The newest thing, couple days ago, the Mars rover landed. It's Curiosity, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
The old rovers we sent there were about the size of a red wagon. This new one is about the size of an SUV.
Okay.
I heard it had a messed up tire, but I don't know. I haven't watched any news. So
I heard
I
it
just heard from someone
A
that
messed up wheel?
on the landing it messed up a wheel or something. But
Oh,
I haven't
right.
watched any
Fix
news,
it,
so I don't know.
I heard it was
Yeah.
actually by Curiosity.
It has its own Twitter account.
Hey, does it really?
Yeah, that's how I found out about this because it was Curiosity or Curious. And I was like, I'll check that
I
out.
was like, sure, I'm curious.
Yeah.
This is about the
It's
Mars.
a Mars rover.
I'm in Mars. I'm busy.
People ask it questions like, do you have a microphone? And it was like, no, I do not. We didn't think to bring one. I'm like, how can you send something to Mars and not bring a microphone?
Yeah, right. What if there's people there that want to talk to us?
Nobody knows what Mars sounds like.
That's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, but nobody's done it yet. We've sent 15 things there.
It
but
could
no
be.
microphone.
It could be nothing but music, nonstop.
You
Who
could hear a
knows?
weird sound, and it might be worms
Right.
under the sand. You don't know.
Exactly. There might be people down there. There's water up
There
there.
might
You know?
be. Is there water? Have they proven that?
On the poles.
yeah,
I believe that's
frozen
a
water.
fact.
But not
Ice.
liquid water, right?
No, not liquid. But they say if they go deep enough, it might be warm enough.
Yeah.
There's something on Mars, I'm sure. they say, oh, it can't live because it's methane and stuff. But the way I look at it is we live in oxygen and everything lives here because that's what's here.
Mm-hmm.
If we were somewhere where it's only methane, we would evolve to breathe methane and we'd be living there.
We'd be farting oxygen.
Exactly. So
that oxygen smells bad.
So I guarantee you won't have to go far to find something, if not bacteria, crawling around somewhere. I mean, it's got to be everywhere. It's not unique. Unfortunately, people don't want to hear that, but life is not.
No, it's just a normal.
Right.
It's not special.
Process.
It's something that happens. Yeah. It's just like people say, "Oh, it's a miracle it happened." No, it's if you mix Kool-Aid and water, you get Kool-Aid. You know, it's not a miracle. It happens when you mix certain stuff together. That's
every
what
time.
happens.
Yeah, if you mix the right stuff.
Did we talk about this last week? We talked about this last week, right? Did we talk about aliens? Because I believe maybe that was just a conversation I had with somebody.
Maybe
we were talking about. I believe that aliens have visited Earth.
Oh, I'm all over that ancient.
Yeah, like I watch that show every week. That's
my girl hates it. She says she gets nightmares. She falls asleep, and they give her nightmares talking about aliens all the time. So she yells at me, and I still watch it. That's how much I like it.
I think they did come. And I mean, haven't they proven? Like, did you ever see that show on the History Channel about the dude that found the island like 200 miles off the coast of like Argentina, and it's got like this leopard and puma statue on it, and it lines up. It used to line up perfectly with the stars, and it coincides with buildings and stuff that's on the mainland. And
then they got one guy, they found a map where the guy drew Antarctica, the part that's covered in ice, and that has been 10,000 years since anybody could see that. And we're talking back in the 1700s, this guy mapped out the coastline of Antarctica under the ice. So
they might have had wooden satellites back then.
Yeah, right? Maybe. Who knows? But I'm down with it.
My take on the whole ancient alien thing is that not that the aliens brought technology, is that just humans back then were smarter than we give them credit for.
Yeah, for sure. I believe they were.
There's a theory. We only use, 7% of our brain?
Yeah.
Einstein was supposed to have used 9%, so we use a lot less than 7%.
I use all of mine for counterbalance.
Mm-hmm. They're saying that there's one theory that there was a time where we could use 100% of our brain.
Then you could do anything.
And if that was possible, the theory is we could be speaking to each other telepathically. We could be lifting shit with our mind. We could be. There's no telling what to do with all that, but yeah, whatever.
Math proves all that's possible, so you just gotta figure out how to do it.
That's one of the things that we started talking about. Is both of us love documentaries, love the Science Channel, and all these things, and we'll get into like long philosophical conversations about different areas of science, time
and everything else like that.
Time, and we'll debate it back and forth until we're convinced of each other's point. It's weird. When you're at work all day sweating your balls off, you got nothing better to do than to just.
Do you work with Albie?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That was going to be my question. How do you guys know each other?
Yeah, we work together a lot.
Well, as you know, I probably meet 1,000 people a year.
That's how I met.
That's how we met. And I talk. You're stuck next to somebody. It's like being in a prison cell for 6 or 8 hours a day.
And I can relate to that.
and you talk, and you hope to find like a commonality, so you got something to talk about. If the new guy only wants to talk about highlight, sorry.
Yeah, right.
This sounds almost like the speech that Christopher Walken gave in Pulp Fiction, where you spend a lot of time with someone in a cell, you take on his responsibilities. Has he ever given you a watch to stick up your ass?
Not a watch, other things.
Oh wait, this show's not that popular, is it? Don't let that secret
out. That's late at night, but
yeah, we haven't had anyone come out yet on our show.
I won't on this show.
That would be great.
This would be the place to come out.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because then you could ease into it.
Mom and Dad are watching
exactly. And then you can ease into telling other people.
The 6 people that are watching and be like, he's gay.
It's like a test balloon. You could throw it out here, live for a couple months, see how it works itself out.
Hey, Bruce, Albie, did I get any more mail? No, nobody's made a comment. Nobody cares. Okay, cool. It's cool.
We get millions of viewers, but, we don't know all of them.
We don't know them. Yeah.
But we had a commonality. We had a common friend. So that's how kind of we started talking. So
yeah, that's right.
Same kind of scenario.
He thought I was a corporate spy.
Oh yeah,
I did. Yeah. He came in first day, knew what he was doing. I was like, "There's no way."
Okay, buddy.
I train people to make a grilled cheese, let's say, right? And they'll do it inside out and backwards.
It's ridiculous how stupid people are, man.
And he was the opposite of stupid. And I was like, this Bruce guy, he's spying on me. Who is he?
I understand not being able to do 20 things and cook 50 things at the same time, but these people. Is this the rye bread? I mean, come on, man.
No, that's a toaster oven.
That's what
No,
you
No,
got.
that's a bagel, dumbass.
No, that's a fire extinguisher. Put it down.
They're not stupid, though. It's amazing.
Yeah. Is that the chicken? No, it's
Like,
a
and
burger.
it's a shame because I'm more amazed by that than I am about the space stuff. You know, like, oh, we just telepathically sent a message from one brain to the next. Oh, no big deal. This asshole can't make a grilled cheese.
Right.
That amazes me more. You know what I'm saying? I'm more amazed by that, I think.
How old are you, Ronnie?
I am 34.
All right. I'm 41. How old are you?
37.
Yeah, it's
I
getting
don't think
rough.
we've ever told our ages on the show.
So 26.
Yeah.
I'm 41 still.
Just
Really?
tell.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is tell everybody your girlfriend's 23 and you'll be cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter how old I am. The chick I'm banging, 23.
Exactly.
23. Right here. 14 years difference. Right there.
Can't beat
High
that.
five with the people.
And he's already got one in her, so what are you gonna do?
Yep. Baby on the way. You're working on that?
Trying.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's, you know, you do what you do and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's like they say, you know, when you get married, everything slows down. So you gotta like try harder. You know, like if we were trying when we first met, we would have probably had 5 kids by now. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So now we actually got to try.
Now you
You know? So, but it's all good. So
It's
hopefully
worth it.
soon. It is worth it.
Yeah.
Is it
I love
worth
my
it?
girl.
Because we're not. We didn't have kids by
Well,
choice.
true. I haven't
I
had
don't know
kids
yet,
yet, so I
but there's
don't
no
know.
turning back now, so I
Yeah.
might as well get used to it and look forward to it. So
But the only thing that's going to change my mind about it being worth it is having one and saying this ain't worth it. And then it's going to be too late. So. might
And
as
then
well
if you
do
say
it.
that, you're gonna feel bad.
Yeah.
we did it on purpose. So
Right.
We did it on purpose, but we don't like you, so leave. We don't want you.
You know
so
what? Yeah.
Drop you off at the fire station.
Yeah. This is kind of fucked up.
This ain't working out.
I'm thinking it's just going to be another person to watch Star Trek with. So
Hey, there you go. That would
Yeah.
be cool.
No.
Until they're like 12 and they hate your guts.
yeah,
And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come over and get her. You know what? I'm gonna take you shopping, kid. Let's go. I'm gonna get you out of here. I need some fresh air.
I'll get a shirt that says "I need my garage time."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. All right. So,
A little bit about Ronnie.
what do you want to tell us about yourself, Ronnie?
I don't know. What do you guys normally ask, or do they normally tell?
I don't know.
Not much. I grew up on the beach, pretty much. You know, I've been here my whole life, so
Okay.
anybody who knows this area knows how that is.
In this undisclosed area in
Yeah.
Florida.
Undisclosed Florida location.
Exactly. You know, drugs are bad, so you know, you come up partying. That's rough, but you make it through. You know, the same old story as probably pretty much almost everybody else you know. You know how it goes.
I do.
Yeah,
Drugs are bad, Ronnie.
sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh, are we supposed to say they're bad for the show?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all, Ronnie. We're actually, that's a real smooth segue. Let's just talk about drugs, Ronnie.
Yeah, you can talk about anything you want.
Drugs aren't all bad. You just got to control them, you know?
All right. So, what is your drug of choice?
Well, now I don't have. Well, now it's pot because that's the only thing I can control.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
pretty much, I was into. I actually did some dope for a long time, and then you know got into the methadone from there, and that was my thing.
Dope meaning heroin?
Yes.
All right. All right. We've now opened the heroin door. Let's talk about that.
Is that what you've been waiting for?
No, that's just what I've been leading up to, but I didn't know how to do it. So now we're here.
No. Yeah, I never shot heroin though. Snorted the piss out of it.
Okay.
Loved it.
Is there
I'm
a
going to say
difference?
that's not disappointing. I'm glad for you. Because
Oh, you was
I
hoping
was-
I was farting, and then
I was hoping
you
we did-
hanging out of my arm. and
I was
stuff.
going to be like, get in the spoon. We got to do this.
No, I
No,
never got
I-
that bad because I knew it was good.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I was smart enough to know this is awesome.
So you
And if I
never,
stick
you
it
never
right-
shot heroin?
No.
Do you have
neither.
would you have the
Me
stomach to shoot heroin?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You have no problem jabbing a needle?
Oh, whatever.
Okay. So I have been told by people that heroin makes you feel like you're about to come. Just like nonstop. Like
You
it's
know,
just a...
I think they describe it that way because that's the only thing they can think of that feels really, really good, and it makes you feel really, really good.
How would you
To
describe
be
it?
honest to God, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. But if you want to be honest about it, not that it's good for you, but it's the best fucking feeling you'll ever have in your life.
I've always wanted to try it, and I know that's
I mean,
a
I
horrible
don't
thing
feel
to
like I'm
say.
about to calm or nothing, but I can't explain it. I mean, you're just like,
Okay.
You're
So
in
can you
another
function
world.
when you're on it? You can't function, right? You just sit down.
It depends. I mean, if you do too much, you can't. If you keep moving around, you're all right. I was, but as soon as I sat down for more than 2 minutes, I'd be like, falling out. But as if I kept moving, like I did it and worked and stuff. But I didn't shoot it either. So maybe if I shot 3 bags instead of snorting 3 bags, it might have been a little different.
I watch. Like Pulp Fiction, all the heroin scenes there. Yeah. I know that the scene with the needle in the heart, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But the scene of John Travolta, like going through the whole routine, the ritual of like cooking it, buying it, cooking it, shooting it, and then driving down the road, like he made it so appealing to me. I mean, that's a horrible thing to admit to.
It is.
He made it look fucking cool. I was like, Jesus, John Travolta looks so happy, and I'm not thinking that, well, he's just pretending. He's not really out on heroin. But I think he fucking nailed it based on what people have told me about it. John Travolta had done some research, and he was like,
Have you ever seen Permanent Midnight?
Yes, I have.
Same type of...
I've never even heard of that. Have you ever seen the movie Rush? They get high on Rush. That's a good movie.
I didn't see Rush.
And then they're cops. They're undercover. And they get hooked on the dope, and their bags start getting short, and the guy's got to take the iron and put it to cover up all the track marks. And he takes this hot iron and he holds it there. Oh my God, it's horrible.
See, that's not something that, I don't want that.
No.
Permanent Midnight was about Jerry Stahl, who was the writer. He wrote for Moonlighting, Bruce Willis. And,
I remember that show.
And then he wrote for Elf.
Oh yeah.
And
he must have been on dope and he's doing Elf.
Completely. he had like a $5,000 a week habit on a $2,000 a week salary, and it's just about him.
Who played him?
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
I'm gonna have to watch that then. What's it called?
Was it Ben Stiller?
I think it was Ben Stiller. Yeah.
It's called Permanent Midnight.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that.
And
he would always shoot like his blood or something on the ceiling. Like, is that a ritual part of it? I don't know.
No, but I've seen the one guy did that on MTV once. He shot a needle full of blood at the camera.
Oh, really?
It's just something to gross. Some punk rockers, they gross people out like that.
Yeah, that is pretty gross.
It is gross. But, they come in there on heroin and they see people looking at them like they're disgusting. So they're like, you want disgusting? And they squirt their blood. Can't do much more disgusting shit than that.
How much does heroin cost?
Well, when I was doing it, bags were like $20. And I would spend, at the very least, and just to be modest and easy math, $100 a day. So that's $30,000 in a year.
So would you do that all at one time? Like, here's $100, give me 5 bags, or were you the guy that's going back every 25 minutes and going, come on, man, I got to get it.
Oh, no. Because at the time I was doing other stuff to make money, so I had the money. So I would spend $300. And maybe
so
that
would John Travolta. What do you got? I got this. All right, give me $300.
In a way, I mean, I'm not Pulp Fiction. I wasn't gangster or nothing, but I would spend $400, $300 and buy enough for a couple days. And then on my second day, when I know I'm running low, call the dude and be like, set something up for the next day, so it was there when I needed it. But I wasn't out on the street. I did once though. We had to buy. Me and my buddy were selling. We had to buy like $1,200 worth, and the only people we get it from was the black people. And you know how they sell drugs. So we had to drive in the neighborhood.
I really don't.
We had to get next to them in the car, and then we had to throw like $1,500 through the car window. And they threw the dope to us through the other window, and then we had to drive off.
Oh my God!
That's the only time I had to get it like that.
I don't know where to begin with that statement. First of all, let me apologize to any black people that are still watching the show after that.
Or drug dealers.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Apologize.
Okay, so that's a fucked up business model right there.
Yeah. But I only did that once.
Honest about it and gave you the
they could have. We threw the money. It was everywhere, so they could have just drove off.
You're getting rain inside their car.
Pretty much. Exactly. Yeah. Well, you have to trust somebody. It's the name of the game.
Okay, so have you ever been were you ever one of these people that's out of money and needs the dope?
No.
So you never sucked a dick for?
Oh, hell no. Okay. I wouldn't. I've never been that. I mean, believe it or not, I was a controlling drug addict. I mean, I knew when something shit started getting too far. When I knew it was getting too much, I stopped. And it was hard as hell, but I did.
So you felt the monkey on your back, so give me some heroin.
And then I stopped. And then, unfortunately, after that, after like a year or two, I started taking pills and then got into all that. But then I stopped that too.
That's good. You're not self-destructive.
So what time span are we looking at here? Like how long have you been
now? Out from the methadone clinic, a year.
So you went to a methadone clinic?
Yeah, for a couple years. So a year and a half.
So that's not a place you check in. That's just a place you show up and say,
it's legal drug dealer.
Yeah, it's
You
like a little
give
cup
them the
of
money,
liquid.
they give you a little cup, you drink it, you leave. You go every day, and then after so often.
Then they cut you back, and then you.
Well, no, you can go forever. If you want.
Oh, wow.
They don't make you get off of it. You got to choose to get off of it and tell them, and then you cut yourself back. But you can just go up and up and just do it constantly.
Okay, and methadone isn't bad for you at all.
No, it's bad for you.
It is bad for you.
Yeah, it's not as bad as heroin. The thing is with heroin, you got to get up, you're jonesing, you got to find, you can't hold a job, you got to find a dealer. The thing with methadone is it's not as bad. You're not shooting it in your veins. It blocks the heroin. So if you do heroin while you're on it, you don't really get high, so it keeps you from doing it while you're on it. And you get up, you go there in the morning, you take your dose, you go to work. So you have a schedule. That's the problem with drug addicts. Like being an addict to drugs is one thing, but then your schedule. You can't keep a job, you can't do nothing because you're always chasing it. And this way, at least it's there every morning at one time. You know when it's going to be there, you go get your dose, and then you can live your life, do your job.
Okay.
Go around, do what you need to do.
So that helps you become a functioning drug addict.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. This is fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It really,
It really is. Okay, so.
And thank you for being so honest about
No,
it.
I sincerely appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
There might be people out there that this might help, you know?
Yeah. And if they don't like it, then oh well. What are you going to do?
Well, and I'm actually you're giving it a realistic spin, and I'm actually the one saying that it sounds really awesome, and I want to try it. So I'm not doing society any favors here.
No. But hey, to each his own. You want to try something? I've known plenty of people throughout the years that can do a little bit of this and know when to stop for a while and then do it. I mean, I know people like that. I'm not saying it's easy, but it happens.
See,
So
I smoked pot when I was younger, and
pot doesn't count though.
But okay, but pot for me, I couldn't handle it, and I knew I couldn't handle it because I'd smoke pot, and if I smoke pot, like I know so many people that can smoke weed, like they can't do anything until they smoke weed.
Yeah.
They get out of bed, the alarm goes off, they reach for the bong, they hit the bong, and then they go, "Ooh, time to start my day," and then they get a car and drive. If I smoke weed,
you can't do that.
I'm going to sit wherever I am, and I'm not going to move. I'm going to hardly breathe. I'm going to be squinting. I'm not going to know what to say. I'm that idiot in the corner where you go, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
Yeah,
like, what is he doing? Pot. So my thing was always like the hallucinogens, like LSD and mushrooms. Mostly LSD.
Mushrooms,
I did a lot of acid when I was a kid, and then October 9th, 1989, we all took some in Kansas City, and then we drove to this bar in Lawrence, Kansas, and to go see the Butthole Surfers play. And I didn't even get into the show. Everybody ended up going to the hospital because it had PCP on it. We didn't know this, so everybody went crazy.
Angel
and
dust.
it was the angel dust.
Nasty.
Worst night of my life.
Tranquilizer.
Worst night of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to jail, and that was the worst night of my life. I did quit until like 2 years later. I was at a Grateful Dead show. I'm not proud of that. And some dude hopped in our van and was like, "Hey, you want some acid?" I was like, "Yeah, I want some acid." And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck did I do that?" Because you can't reverse it either.
Yes.
There's nothing you can do. Once you take it, you're in for an 8 to 10 hour.
And it's not like other drugs where you can try to sleep it off, you know. And it lasts forever. You can't sleep, you know. You get the permagran, your face hurts, you know. You can't stop smiling.
Yeah. And I did it at the beginning of a Grateful Dead show. And
did you remember the show at all?
No, absolutely. It doesn't make it. You know.
It doesn't make you forget.
It changes your perception of things, and what it does is I've never seen anything that wasn't there, but I've seen things that are there moving, and
it makes you deep think. Like we saw a guy almost get hit by a car. Like you're walking down the street, and the guy falls out into the street, and then he gets up, and the car misses him by a foot, and you're like, "Holy shit, the guy almost got hit," and that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on acid, you're like, "Oh my God,
you discussed
6 more inches. That dude almost died. It was almost over. Just imagine what the world, you know." And then you're an hour later talking about it.
That's what exactly. You're very right on with that. When you're doing LSD, you feel like you can understand
everything, and you want to explain it to everybody else,
and everyone else somehow understands what you're saying. And if you were to tape record
and play
this whole conversation,
oh my God,
and play it back a couple days later, you'd be like, "What the fuck were we saying?" But everyone's like, "Man, I totally."
Be like, no wonder they were all giving us those weird looks when we were talking on the sidewalk. No wonder what they were looking at. No wonder they were hearing this shit.
And you're talking about talking for an hour. I got stuck in a bathroom one time staring at my face for like an hour, just looking at it and analyzing like the creases. And
they tell you not to look at your face because it freaks you out.
Don't look at yourself in the mirror. And yeah, we used to say, like, me and this dude, he would come down to Kansas City every weekend. We'd dose, and we'd put on either Vivaldi, The Four Seasons, or this Flaming Lips album, and we'd turn on, like, the gas fireplace, and he'd sit over in one corner, and I'd sit over in the other corner, in the dark, with just this fireplace going, with the music going, and we'd just sit there for hours. And then one time we got up, we're like, you ready to go to Quick Trip? That's the big convenience store down there. And we opened the door to go to Quick Trip, and it had snowed, which was awesome because now there's just this white, like, I mean, it was cool. Another thing to do if you're ever doing LSD, and you can find a Tom Petty video block on MTV. His videos were designed for people on acid. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I went to a laser light show at Pink Floyd one time. And
which is kind of a cliche.
It is, but let me tell you, it is a stereotype, but let me tell you, it's the best trip I ever had in my life was sitting in that fucking planetarium. I mean...
So there's a reason for stereotypes, bro.
It had me going so whacked out. Remember, we got out, and it's a long, straight road. You know, it's down here when you come from the planetarium. Long, straight, and I'm on the road, and I swear to God, the road's... I'm thinking we're on a turn, and I'm grabbing the steering wheel to turn the road, my buddies. So, I mean, that's what this laser light show just put me whack to. Even when I left it, everything was all, I mean, it just got me so deep into it. I've never been like that before. And cliche or not, it was Pink Floyd.
Yeah, assume everybody in line at the Pink Floyd laser light show is on some sort of drug.
I've never been.
But it was awesome.
I would go. Do they still do them? Do we have a planetarium here?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I was there last Halloween because they still do the walk back there. On the trail back there behind the planetarium.
I know they show Star Trek movies there once a month.
After the show, I want to find out where that is. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'd like to go there and see a laser light show. Actually, it's been a while.
I don't want to do any more drugs. I'm too old for that. We've already established my age.
I might be able to do mushrooms a little bit, but acid, I couldn't do it.
The first time I did mushrooms, I was with this girl who wanted me to choke her, and we ended up choking each other, and then she passed out, and it was one of the most terrifying moments of my life because I'm like, oh my god, I'm killed her. This is the end. And then she woke up, and the next day,
this wasn't the chick I helped you bury.
The next day, we were both talking like this. So, do you want to come over? I was like, I don't know. Are you gonna choke me again? Fuck you. That's not funny.
That reminds me, I was at this part when you could go around down there. You could drive around the beach down there, and we were sitting in one of the bars, and I did heroin, snorted a little bit with these two guys that never done it. You know, they wanted to do it. So we're sitting there, you know, we're high, we're ordering a beer or whatever. Next thing you know, I hear, boom. I look beside me, the guy fell right off the chair onto the ground. And I'm freaking out. The other guy takes off. I'm out of here. I'm like, dude, you know, I would never leave someone like that, no matter how much trouble. I had to take him to the hospital, so I'm picking him up. I'm about to drag him to the car and take him to the hospital, and he woke up. And that was the scariest thing that ever happened to me.
Sounds like a scene from The Hangover or something.
Yeah, well. I mean, so we've both shared stories about people that have passed out due to drugs and us choking them.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so you ever smuggled heroin up your ass?
No, I haven't done that. I have gotten pot though through planes.
In your ass?
Not in my ass. On
okay,
suitcases.
so we're done. I'm gonna just before we move on to that.
Have you
ever stuck anything in your ass for smuggling? You don't have to tell me about your sex life.
Yes, I have one time when I was in jail. A little bit of weed I shoved up there to get, because I was a trustee. So I would get out and do work and be able to come back.
No,
people would see me and throw, you know, people would see us and some people throw stuff out.
You mean just like random people?
Yeah, I always did. You never did that? Anytime I saw the trustees on the side of the road, I always threw out a pack of smokes or a joint or whatever I had, because then they'd find it.
I've heard that.
Because you can't smoke in jail, and you know, of course, you can't do weed or nothing like that.
I need to do that. I drove past some state prisoners today, and I was like, maybe I'll just honk and give them a thumbs up.
I think they can smoke in prison. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look that up.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll tell you that they can smoke in prison.
But not in jail, they can.
In federal prison, you can smoke.
I think in state prisons,
you're not supposed to.
Maybe not. But when you're in there for 20 years, they don't let them smoke. They're going to have more problems. So I think they let them somehow. I don't know. I'm not looking at that.
And it shortens your lifespan, so they don't have to take care of them as long, right?
Well, but then they get cancer, and then they got to take care of them. So I don't know how that works.
If the pot was in your ass, do you smoke it later, or does somebody else smoke it?
No, I smoked it.
Now, did it smell like ass or farts?
No,
when
I
you
wrapped
smoked
it up real good.
And when they smoked it out of your ass, did they use you like a ball, like when they like that and suck it out of your mouth?
Suck it out of your mouth? No.
Human bomb!
I don't think I'd have them suck it out of my mouth. I just light it on fire and blow smoke at them.
Okay, so there's definitely limits, and
But now we're talking something really
How
small.
much pot could you get up your ass? Like one joint, right? Like
Yeah, I wouldn't try no more than that.
like an ounce of pot.
Even that was, let me tell you, that wasn't fun. And it was like, it was barely anything.
did the pleasure later outweigh the pain?
Oh, it was well worth it.
Okay.
After 4 months in jail, living in an army tent, 150 degrees, just being able to get stoned and stare up at the
Where the hell were you?
ceiling.
Arizona?
Right out here.
Oh, it's hot.
It's probably like 12 years ago, though, or 10 years ago. So before they had all the fancy AC and TV, I didn't even get TV. Because we were in tents, we got 2 hours of TV a night. Them guys in there now, they lay in AC all day and watch television.
Well, television is...
It's got to be educational, though.
In prison, they got cable because they understand that keeps everybody in line.
Yeah, I think in jail they only let you watch. Well, I don't know. When I was in the house place where you go before you're a trustee, because when you're a trustee they let you out there. They had TV and watched soap operas and stuff, but a lot of Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, stuff like that.
Okay, so I did a 1.5 years in a federal prison, and
Texas.
No. Fuck you. No. No, I was a pot smuggler.
In your ass?
Never in my ass. No, I believe the term for what I did was a mule.
Oh, you were just carrying it for someone?
Yeah, but like a lot of it. Like big duffel bags.
Yeah, but it wasn't yours to sell when you got over there. You had to drop it off to somebody.
It was me driving. It was me flying into Houston, getting a car, driving to Birmingham, dumping it off. That was it. And I got caught years later. I didn't get caught. I just got told on by somebody. And enough people told. So there was never any trial or anything. They just came and said, "Okay, we're gonna get you now." And so I did a 1.5 years in a federal prison, and we got to smoke, and we had it was like a camp. It was like the place where Martha Stewart went.
Yeah.
I was in there with tax evaders.
Yeah.
They hated me. The white collar guys. The funny thing is,
because they're not criminals in their minds. You're a scumbag drug smuggler.
And in our minds, we weren't stealing money from people. We were providing a service, and they were the scumbags.
Yeah, we were making our own money doing the hustle.
Right,
exactly.
Right. So on one side you have all the tax evaders, there were people in there that had done Ponzi schemes. There were a lot of corrupt chiropractors. Like Medicare, Medicaid fraud.
That's redundant.
The dude that shared my bunk, he was in there for fixing a horse race.
That's illegal.
Then there was this old dude. There was this really old dude from Poland. Didn't speak any English at all. He was there for smuggling caviar. Like this 80-year-old dude. Didn't speak any English. Didn't speak any Spanish. And he's in this place in Miami. No one spoke Polish. I mean,
how can caviar be illegal?
Well, tax duty free or whatever. If you're smuggling it, you're appropriating.
And if he had a lot, you're stealing lots of money. Especially if that's pretty expensive. It's probably got a high tax on it because it's a luxury item.
So we got to smoke. We got cable TV. We had beach volleyball.
Nice.
We had racquetball. We had a giant track. We had a large softball field with bleachers and everything.
Schools, probably.
Oh yeah.
So you learned.
It was like summer camp.
You learned your lesson.
Next time, smuggle more pot, because if I come here, I'll just stay longer.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. And
getting locked up sucks.
It really does.
I wasn't in prison. I was in jail.
Well, jail's worse than prison.
It is because they're on you. In prison they let you live because you're there for a while, kind of.
Right.
In jail, you're not there for long. They're on your ass. I had to get up probably 3 days a week, get up an extra hour to feed all the people that were in the stockade part, because I was a trustee, and then I'd have to work all day and share a shower with 50 guys.
Well, we all worked, but it was all like lame jobs. And my jobs, the longer you spend, the better your job gets. Like I started out with what I considered to be the most terrifying job, which is the guy slopping the food on the plates, because you got to interact with everybody in there, and you're scared.
Yeah, that sucks.
Give me some more. Okay, I'm sorry, don't hurt me.
You can't have more, not me.
Then it became wait, you know how to cook? Okay, you're a cook now. So then I moved to the back, and now I'm cooking food for 500 people.
Yeah.
Then it was, wait, you know how to type? Okay, now you're my secretary. You know. Then I move up to there. Now I have an office with a lock and a file cabinet, and I control all the toiletry items, and I have a place to hide shit.
Then you can make money.
Then I started making money. Then they said, we want someone that speaks more fluent Spanish to do this. So we're going to take this job away from you. Now we're going to send you to this INS detention facility 5 days a week to work in their clothing warehouse. Nice. Okay, so I start smuggling shit back under my clothes. Then, wait, you've worked in a restaurant all your life? Yes. Okay, now we're going to send you to Homestead Air Force Base to work in the restaurant out there 5 days a week. Yeah. Okay, great. So now I'm just a... The worst part about prison then was the time that I wasn't working because I was in prison.
Yeah, you were
locked up. The rest of the time I'm on an Air Force base.
When I worked, we just walked from Sanibel to the mall on Sutherland.
So basically,
but that's what we did. We walked the whole way and picked up garbage.
If you can't get a job or get good work, you just should go to prison. And then eventually there's a way to get good work.
Oh, I told everybody the day when they finally let me out, I had finally gotten everything the way it needed to be in my life. Like I had money coming in.
Yeah, right.
I had
maybe that's
dudes that were doing. I had dudes doing my laundry. I had dudes cleaning my cell. I had dudes like bringing me food. There was this little Cuban dude every morning would bring me a Cuban coffee, and he'd make coffee for me. And I had it. Someone delivered a newspaper to me. It was fucking awesome.
So that's the punishment. Once you got everything set,
then they send you home.
Right.
Now you got no job, no money, no place to live.
It's kind of like learning the meaning of life and then dying. Okay, you now have the meaning of life. Goodbye.
Yep, see you later.
That could be educational and stuff.
You get used to it, though. You get in a routine. It's weird no matter where you are. Eventually, you do get in a routine, and it becomes home.
Sure, as long as your routine doesn't
no matter what it is.
Doesn't include your 8 a.m. raping, by the dude down the way. But I wasn't in a place like that. Like that, we were in a place where everybody behaved.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't behave, you go to a worse place where you were
going to get where you did get that happen. Yeah. So you had to deal with that stuff.
You ever been arrested, Albie?
Not once ever. Boring. I got nothing.
Yeah, you're really getting iced out of this whole conversation.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys get to know each other. I know a lot about you and a lot about you.
You haven't done drugs. You haven't been arrested. You never had anything stuck in your butt, smuggling-wise.
Smuggling-wise, yes. No. Had some girlfriends that went back there a couple times, but I was like,
pets.
hey.
Did you say pets and girlfriends?
No, past girlfriends.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. All right, so what else? What, you want to tell us an interesting story about your life?
See, now I'm on the spot now.
No, not really.
No, I know. I'm just saying. No, I used to smuggling thing. I used to get pot before Osama. We used to fly suitcases on the planes. I go pick them up at the airport. So I've done that. I used to work at Hooters, so I'd have a Hooters girl in the car. We'd drive up, I'd send her in, and she'd come out with a suitcase and have like 50 pounds in it or something. I used to do a lot of that. Miami, there was one time we went over to Miami. I used to go over there, and we had like 20 grand on us to pay the guy because he would front us like 50 pounds at a time over there. And on the way there, we had a tire blowout, and I'm with these two, here I am. I'm like GQ when I was younger. I was like gold watch, gold rings, gold, sweet Nikes, nice shorts, shirt, and I'm with these two hippies, stank like hell, fucking dreads, weird girls with armpits under their hair. It's like me and this chick in the sky, and we blow out a tire and nothing works. We can't get no one to stop. Next thing you know, I'm at the call box like a half mile up trying to call a tow truck or something. Then I got like 10 joints on me for the ride over, And next thing I know, I look up and there's FHP. They're pulling right next to the car. So now I'm freaking out because we got all this cash on us and stuff. Thank God we weren't on our way back. So I'm like walking, throwing joints out. Walking to the car, throwing joints out of my pocket, trying not to get seen by this guy. And then finally he got a tow truck. And he's like, it might be a couple hours. You want me to wait? And we're all like, no,
that's
you
fine.
Can go.
Go find some drug smugglers.
So just thank God I wasn't on the way back because then we had all been shitting bricks.
I can relate to that story a little bit.
Because you've had a flat tire.
No.
I
wore Nikes.
Oh.
See, I had something right there.
And this is the first shameless plug. If you'd like to buy some Nike shoes,
there you go.
Order them down here from Amazon.com. We do shameless plugs.
Yeah, I noticed that. I watched.
We just haven't talked about anything that we can put on Amazon if you need to buy a bong. I don't know.
We can put some Mexican pharmacy web addresses or
Mexican Viagra. I think
Mexican
that's a drug in
Mexico. It's mostly like paste and blue paint, I think.
Really?
But, you know.
Too bad Viagra don't cure AIDS, though, huh? Because then we'd probably have a cure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, anyway.
I do.
Mm-hmm. So, like, what are you into otherwise? Like,
what are you into sexually?
Yeah, no, we already know that. You know, we work together, so.
You know, nothing. You know, when you get old, what are you into?
Movies, TV.
Oh, yeah, I hate that question. What do you do for fun? I don't know. I live my life.
Exactly.
I like air conditioning and television. I mean,
couches.
I figured out a way to put those two things together, and I'm good.
Yeah, that's how I am. They're like, what do you do? I'm like, nothing. You want to come over and hang out? No, I got a house to hang out at.
You have a green thumb.
Do you grow?
Yes, I do grow. I have a little garden. I haven't done a big garden yet, but I did get avocado growing from work. We saved some of the nuts.
Yeah.
Or whatever you
so
want to call
do you actually plant it, or do you put it in the?
I put it in the little cup, and like 3 of them turned out, and then they started growing mold on them. I kept rinsing them off, and they'd have all this mold on them.
On the nut?
Yeah, in the water, on the nut part. But I had one grow up, so I planted 2 of them, and I got one now in my little garden. It's like this tall, but I got to move it again because it's right next to the house.
So avocados grow on a tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're trying to grow a tree from.
Yeah, you get it. Basically, you germinate it. The nut is what you're doing, and so you can plant it and get it to grow better instead of just throwing the nut in the ground.
Okay.
But I got that, and I grow little roses. I love them. I'm like a girl when it comes to those.
Are you, as far as the roses, are you like a competitive rose grower?
No, I wouldn't mind being like that, but no, I'm not. But someday, when we dig up a chunk in the yard, my girl's going to build a garden for, tomatoes and stuff. I might take a nice little trunk and just do roses and see what I can do.
Do you have the personality for that, where it's going to be like, oh no, that petal has to be just perfect, and that one has to be.
Yeah.
So you have just like, see, I couldn't do that.
You talk to my girl. I'm a little OCD, kinda. I mean, in weird ways. I mean, I notice little stuff like that. Like if you were sitting here now and you had a little fuzz on the end of your sock, would drive me crazy to the point where I'd probably ask you to move it.
Okay, Howard Hughes.
Yeah, just certain things. Like my girl will be laying in bed, she rubs my arm, she'll rub through here, and I got to touch the other side.
Okay.
So I'm a little OCD, so I can definitely look at the plants and know leaf's got to be. Oh yeah, I could definitely be into all that.
Because I think that's how they are in those competitions.
Yeah.
That they're looking for perfection.
Yeah, I could definitely be into that. Because I look at the petals and I'm like, oh, if these petals went like this, it would look like that other one that was just perfect. So yeah, I noticed down to the small stuff. So I think I'd be all right at it. I'd like to give it a shot.
So
I'm sure it's very calming.
It's
aside
nice.
From you're crazy,
Yeah,
aside from that, but
then the heat sucks.
Yeah, it's really hot. You have shade,
but I picture that as being something that like you could just go and hang out with your flowers and
like quiet,
and not have to like a zen sort of.
Yeah, I like
thing.
watering my plants. Sometimes I'll be out there for half an hour.
Do you
smoke
talk to
my
them?
Cigarette. Water. No, I don't.
They say you're supposed to.
Actually, I got to tell you about a devil plant. Check this out. Here's a story for you. So we plant this plant because my girl likes birds of paradise. And it's not a birds of paradise, but the flowers look kind of like birds of paradise.
Huh?
So we plant it, and the flowers look nice, but they only last like a day, and then it rots, and then it just looks like shit. Right? So I hate it. But my girl's like, I love it. I'm like, no, I hate it, whatever. So finally it starts growing sideways, like under the ground sideways and popping up in a line. Like this thing grows like that. So it's getting towards my roses. So I'm like, gotta go, And my girl's like, of course, your precious roses. So whatever. So I rip it up, and it's gone, right? This is like 6 months ago. So maybe 3 weeks goes by. I go out there and look. There's a little sprout of this plant like 2 feet away. And I'm like, this fucking thing. So I pop it up. And then like a week later, I find another one. I pop it up. And I'm showing her the whole time. She's laughing. She's like, that's what you get. So I finally, one day, I rip it up. I'm like, fuck it. I throw it out in the yard. And I'm like, sweet, it's gone. So like 3 months goes by and there's nothing there. And I'm like, I finally got rid of that fucking thing. Well, I spent a lot of energy and time mulching around a tree in my yard to make it look nice, instead of just roots and stuff.
Sure.
So anyways, I'm over there and I'm filling up the bird bath. I got a bird bath. And I look down and there's a little piece. And this is literally 40 feet from where I pulled up the plant. A little piece of this fucking plant is growing out of the ground by my tree, right? So I rip it up, throw it away. Orange tree, 10 feet away. There's a little one growing there. And to this day, right now, my girl won't let me rip it up this time. Just 2 days ago, back by that tree again, there's a little piece of it growing out of the ground.
I'm thinking it's one huge life form underneath the ground. And just...
It's fucking crazy.
I'm thinking every time you pull it out, it's spitting seeds everywhere.
Yeah, but it don't really like have seeds.
You or something? Or?
No,
are you shredding it and just scattering it to the wind? And
no, but I am ripping it up and chopping it up with the freaking. But I think this might be a thing where a tiny little piece of it will grow. And when I threw it in the yard, I think me and my stepdad went over with the lawnmower and shot pieces everywhere, and that's what's sprouting.
Ah.
That makes sense.
But if that's, I can't get rid of this thing.
I think it's too late. I think your whole home will be overrun.
I think you should just embrace it and become the guy that grows that thing.
Yeah.
What are they
maybe
called?
I should. I don't know what they're called.
Birds of Paradise-like plants.
Lookalikes.
Devil plant.
Yeah,
I like that.
The devil plant.
Definitely.
Devil plant. Hey, beverages.
Oh, more drinks.
Hello, beautiful.
How's that? Is that one empty?
Yeah.
All right. Can we get some more ice?
Oh yeah.
Please.
I didn't know we had.
For my guest.
I didn't know we had a server here. Here, actually, here, let's
she's
do
production
this.
assistant.
She's yeah. You want to just drink out of there?
Yeah. This thing, I love this cup. Let me tell you. This ice tomorrow,
I need to get one too.
I'll wake up tomorrow at like noon, and this will still have a big old chunk of ice in it with cold drink, and I can just get.
Where'd you get it? Is it Circle K cup?
It's a 7-Eleven.
Okay. 7-Eleven. Available at 7eleven.com. Or
it's the Extreme Golf. And they got bigger ones too. They got a bigger one that I want to get.
I heard they were going to outlaw like oversized beverages in New York City, was it, or something?
Yeah, the mayor was talking about
why?
that.
What's
because of sugar and obese people and children and
this
stuff.
is where stupidity comes in, though. Can't you just buy 2 of them?
Yeah, or 3 of them, or
just let us be obese.
yeah.
I can buy a carton of smokes.
Right.
I smoke all 5 packs, 10 packs in a day. But God forbid if I want 32 ounces of Coke, that's too much.
Maybe if you get more than 16 ounces, you got to be over 18.
That's good.
Have my ice.
Thank you.
I don't get that stuff. That stuff almost angers me. I guess that could be a pet peeve. Stupidity is a pet peeve.
Stupidity. Going back to my earlier.
When you're that dumb.
When you need the government to tell you.
And just a little stat, like here's stupidity, like getting back to the drugs things. There's like 10,000 people die every year of cocaine and heroin. And you know the billions we spend to stop that stuff? You know how many people die from cigarettes every year? Like 500,000. And we advertise it on television.
Sure. Well, that's tobacco is the worst drug out there. Tobacco and alcohol are the worst drugs out there.
They just got first. That's what I think. Then nothing else will be legal because those two, until they make one of those illegal, they're not going to let more stuff be legal on top of it.
It's
alcohol and pot, or alcohol and cigarettes just beat them to it.
Mm-hmm.
If pot would have beat cigarettes, their pot would be legal now, and cigarettes would be the illegal thing.
Well, you know why pot's illegal? That was, it doesn't have to do with the effect that it puts on you. It has to do with the fact that William Randolph Hearst didn't want it because you could make a cheaper, better paper out of it. And it was going to fuck with his paper manufacturing business. So he used his newspapers and his films to demonize pot, and so they made all these movies like Reefer Madness and all these other movies where it shows people smoking weed and then killing people
or the werewolves
flying off of buildings. And
what keeps it legal is the fact that I forgot what I was going to say.
But that the drug war is
what keeps it legal is the prison population. Because if only 10,000 people a year do coke and heroin, you can't justify locking up 2 million. But with pot being illegal, everybody smokes pot. You can justify putting all them people in jail.
I've been putting in a lot of job applications lately, and I've seen this so many times. Employers will now ask a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them have said, "Have you been convicted of a crime?"
Yeah.
And then in parentheses it'll say, "excluding marijuana convictions."
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And that's becoming a very common thing.
Because it's stupid law. It should be legalized. I mean, I don't do it myself.
I find it interesting. I find it interesting that companies would take a stand on that, though. You know what I mean? Why would they just say, "Have you been convicted?" And if it's pot, they'll be like, "All right, hire him." But they're like, "Don't tell us about."
They just don't want it on the record.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Which is good for you too. But to me, it's that kind of stuff. They shouldn't ask that anyways. It's like, have you ever heard someone say, "You can't work with that guy unless he has his cup of coffee"? Well, I know people you can't work with him unless he smoked the joint.
It's the same
Well, what's
thing.
the difference? If you got to do something to work, then you got to do something to work. Who cares if it's coffee, pot, cigarettes, or whatever? You know,
those fucking monster.
Yeah, everybody needs something to get by. That's just the way it is.
Yeah,
I'm terrified of the day that someone's going to come on the show and they've chosen Monster energy drinks as the beverage because I will die.
I saw you guys drinking Red Bull.
That was close to death for me. Like that's just.
Yeah, those are nasty.
He had a rough night that night. I had to hold him.
Yeah, those aren't good drinks at all.
Have you seen any of the shows where we got drunk?
No, I have not seen those.
Albie got hammered on a show a few shows ago, like
and I don't
to where we were drinking. It was with Ty, and it was our first girl guest, and she had chosen vodka soda with a splash of cranberry and lime. Pretty common drink.
Yeah.
We're drinking them out of here, and at the end of the show, as we're signing off, Albie reaches across the table and grabs mine and just chugs it. And I was like, really? You don't even drink? And he was completely like blasted.
Trash.
Oh, yeah.
I was under the impression it was mostly like juice or
No, it was
or
mostly
seltzer.
vodka.
Mostly vodka.
Yeah, it was mostly vodka, like this much vodka, and I had like 4 glasses of vodka.
Yeah, he was just chugging it. And
from what I hear, I was pretty affectionate to our
Everybody.
producer,
Everybody.
assistant.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That was his excuse.
It was a great show.
I don't want to get him in trouble.
For anyone watching, please check out any of our archive shows. We
What
have
show
them all.
was that? That was
Ty.
Yeah.
I did start watching that, but I didn't get all the way through it.
It's a good one.
Did you see her do the Munchkin song?
No, I didn't.
You got.
I forgot about that.
Come
See,
on.
Albie told me about that, and then he showed me her tattoo, and then I watched some of it. If I would have remembered that, I would have searched and found and made sure to watch that before I signed off, but I forgot all about that.
Do you play poker?
I don't. I like poker.
Do you
I
know-
think
do you know
I'm
how to
good at
play?
poker, yeah,
Okay.
but I never play.
I was thinking about having I'm thinking about doing a show where we bring all of our old guests back, and we have a talk, and while we're talking, we're
Have
playing
a poker match.
and maybe have the camera move around, a little
That'd be
bit.
great.
and,
That would be awesome.
and just,
Great idea.
but
But for real money, like a $20 buy.
yeah, we can play for real money,
I'm
but
out then.
but it's to have a.
I'll put you in.
I'm sure the show has a budget for you. But have a conversation while we're doing it, like,
definitely.
where it's not just we're watching a shitty version of the World Poker Tour. We're watching.
Would that be a new
And then
format,
people
or
that
just
don't really
one
know
time
each
special?
other too, so it'd be kind of cool because it'd be different.
Well, and they've all watched each other's shows and like,
There you go.
hey, you're the heroin dude. What's
Yeah.
You're the tattoo girl.
up? And
I
you
watch
guys-
the comic dude the most.
Yeah.
That's the most I watch. The guy with the glasses.
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
Who's he look
Dirty.
like?
Dirty.
Dirty, but he looks like
George Lucas.
no. Who's the guy? Peter
Kevin
Jackson
Smith.
or the guy that does Lord of the Rings or
Okay,
the
yes,
Silent
Peter
Bob,
Jackson.
Silent Bob guy
Yes,
Kevin
with
Smith.
with the
Kevin Smith.
glasses.
Kevin
yeah.
Smith.
Looks just
Yeah.
like him.
He's pretty awesome.
If we do play the poker game, you've got to at some point pull something fakely out of your ass to put on the table and bet.
Oh, I can.
Hold on, I see you.
I can do that. I get a little like white powder or something and pull it out. And then I can be like, does anybody want a little before I lose it?
Can we have pretzel rods?
I don't know what that is. That yeah, sure, we can have pretzel rods.
Okay.
Why, you want to pull one of those out of your butt?
Is that
No,
something
I
you're
just-
gonna eat?
Oh.
I'll
Seems
buy you
like a
some
poker.
pretzel rods right now.
And I'll play poker.
You're gonna play regardless.
So he looks like Kevin Smith.
We'll have to have munchies because I constantly eat.
Who do you look like?
Drew Carey.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've only heard that a million times.
Okay.
I've never thought that.
What have you heard? Who do you look like?
Damn it! I got nothing. Nobody ever says I look like anybody. Who do I
I
look like?
can't think of anybody either.
Everybody says I look like my
I
dad.
can't. I don't know why. I just say Drew Carey because I've been called Drew Carey
Maybe
quite
it's the
a few
haircut?
times. Probably because of the hair and the
Glasses.
glasses. And I'm fat. You know.
You're a
Who do you
full-figured guy.
look like?
I'll tell you who I look like.
Okay.
And I've always looked like him, apparently.
Okay.
When he was younger and I was younger, I looked like him. As he's gotten older, apparently I still look like him.
Okay.
It's hard to tell now because I got the short. My hair's really gray.
Yeah.
I look like, shit. What's that guy's name? Vincent D'Onofrio.
I don't know who that is.
Vincent D'Onofrio. His first big character was
Yeah, I know that.
Private Pile on Full Metal Jacket. He's the guy that blew his
Okay.
brains out with the M16.
He's the criminal intent guy.
He's the criminal intent guy.
Yes.
And when I was
Men in
his
Black.
age, yes, Men in Black. When I was his,
You do watch movies.
when we were younger, and I got my hair cut like this, and I was even heavier. People were like, "You look like him." Like when he's like
Walking around with a gun in your mouth.
Yeah, like when I'm walking around with an M16, it's like,
I can
like
see
him.
it.
Then as I got older, I've had people say it like where that show will be on Criminal Intent, and they'll be like, "That's you," because I have gray hair. I'm like, I don't see it, except we both have gray hair, but apparently I look like him.
Hey, I'm the same way. I see it a little bit, but I don't see Drew Carey, too. I mean, I understand I'm big, but I don't see it.
It would be worse if you had on, like, the big Buddy Holly glasses.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that would just be, then you'd just be trying to look like Drew Carey.
Yeah, try to look like Drew Carey.
Drew Carey, if you're watching the show, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, right?
What was that show he was on?
The Drew
Whose
Carey
line
show?
is it anyway?
The Drew Carey show. Whose line is it anyway?
I hate that fucking show.
The Price is Right. Do you think they have The Price is Right on DVD?
Yeah, of course they do.
Now, why would they?
Old people.
And Bob Barker. You know, people want to see Bob Barker. I guarantee you.
That was
They'd be dumb not to, because people would buy that.
Seriously.
Look what they buy on DVD. You know they buy Dallas. They buy all kinds of shit. You know they buy that just for Bob Barker.
People that watch that don't know how to work their DVD players.
Is Bob Barker still alive?
I don't think so.
I think so. Yes, he was on WWE.
Plus the pervs for the showgirls would buy it just for the girls.
Yeah.
Just to see all the different girls throughout the years.
What was her name? Diane Parkinson was
She
the
was
main
there
one.
forever, right?
She sued him for sexual
Sexual
harassment.
Yeah.
I don't really. How old are you?
34.
All right, you're really. He's
got
down.
some range.
He's down with the pop culture.
Yeah, man. I know. I mean, I'm not into the sci-fi. Like, I love
me.
science and stuff, but the Star Trek and stuff, I've seen a couple. They're all right. This is just not my thing, you know.
I'm with you.
He would be a man to play Trivial Pursuit with. Definitely.
Yeah, I got. You know what? I got Trivial Pursuit the last 20 years. Now that's fun because
Is that
it's
a
not
game?
so
Do they have
obscure.
that?
Yeah, I have that.
I need to play that.
It's just the last 20 years, so it's not so obscure. Like who wrote the poem in 1450? Well, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But this will say who sang Like a Virgin on the MTV Music Award. You know, and shit that you should know
Okay.
or could possibly know.
All right.
That makes sense.
So it's a fun game. I can't ever get anyone to play with me though.
Okay. All right. I see where we're going. And
I
yes,
think we see a new bromance happening.
oh my God, this man crush just became romantic.
Laser Light Show, Trivial Pursuit.
Oh my God, we got dates already. And
Okay.
Bruce is
let's
going
do
to
this.
pick up growing roses in his backyard. And try
Yeah,
it
let's
out.
start growing roses. We'll
Yeah.
compare our roses.
Yeah, our buds.
He's going to get me through that first heroin.
I'll help him out. I can even do the needle thing and everything for
The
you.
needle.
He'll do it for you.
Stick it in.
Yeah, you just gotta sit there and I'll be like one of them doctors. You'll feel a little pinch.
That's a
It's
friend.
over.
That's really a friend.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
You're not gonna tell everybody you're gonna
I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that on the show.
Yeah. If I do that, I'm gonna say I never did it.
The show, or Exhibit A, as they're going to start calling it.
I hope your cell's still set up back there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope your newspaper guy's still back there.
Hey guys, what's up? Yeah.
I'd like to resubscribe.
Yeah. All right. So,
Going pretty good.
is there anything you want to plug? You got any projects or websites or anything that you're?
No, you know,
involved
that's
in?
another thing. I'm not. I mean, I love my phone and I like getting on the computer and being able to Google anything and find out, but I'm just not really on YouTube or Twitter or nothing. I mean, obviously I have Facebook. Who doesn't have Facebook? But besides that, you know.
Well, nothing wrong with that. I always get to give everybody the
No,
option to.
I
if they
understand.
want to
But
promote
yeah,
something.
there's nothing. No, I'm good on that front.
Okay. You're not going to be appearing at the Laugh Factory or anything
No.
anytime soon?
No, I need partners. I can't do stand-up all by myself.
I did stand up for like 3 years.
I don't think I could do it. I mean, I think I can be funny, but I need something to bounce off of.
I have found you amusing,
Oh, that's good.
and I can honestly I believe that everybody has 15 minutes. Everybody,
Yeah,
because
true.
you've had a whole lifetime.
Exactly. You got to be able to put something
It's,
together.
it's that second 15 minutes that you have trouble coming up with.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how them guys do it every week and come up with different stuff every
Well, they
couple
don't come up
months.
with different stuff.
Well-
They'll do the same show for a year. Like the big
Yeah,
pros
true.
do the exact same routine.
But still, even to do 2 hours and then a year later do 2 hours more, that to me would seem almost.
They don't do 2
That would
hours.
be
It's an
tough.
hour. An
Yeah,
hour is
true.
what they do, and that's not that. I've done comedy for 45 minutes before, and it went by just
Yeah,
like
I
that.
bet
Where I
when
was
you're
like,
up
"Are
there-
you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
shit, yeah, all right, give me my check."
That's counting the laughter too, so
Yeah.
you're not responsible for that.
Well, you always have to include the laughter,
Yeah.
and when you don't, if the laughter doesn't come, that show gets.
When the light starts blinking, right?
Time doesn't go by so fast. You're
It goes
dodging.
by slow.
You're dodging the hook.
Yeah, right?
I used to. I have all of my old shows on video, and no.
I've never seen these. I've asked, and and you directly told me you did not have anything.
I threw them away. Actually,
Oh, he just said he's.
No. I just remembered. I
just
did throw it
remembered.
away. I did throw it away. But the first tape of me rocking the house.
Friends, Bruce.
The first time I ever did comedy, I went for 15 minutes and I blew it apart. I rocked it. Then I had to do a show in a month, and I didn't want to do the same set. So I had to come up with, I had a whole lifetime to come up with that first 15 minutes. And I had 27 days to come up with the next 15 minutes, and I didn't know what I was doing. And that video is the one everybody wanted to watch because it was the first time I ever bombed on stage. And you can see me like I'm clutching the microphone. I'm drenched in sweat. My legs are shaking. Like I can barely stand up. The audience is miserable because they realize what's going on.
Yeah,
and they're not throwing. They feel bad, but not bad enough to laugh. And they're just basically watching a guy die on stage. And it was the worst night of my life after October 9th, 1989. And so then after the show, I'm drinking martinis with a professional comic and feeling sorry for myself. And I'm getting hammered. And he didn't realize what the problem was. And then finally he said, wait, did you think you were never going to bomb? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, dude, you're going to bomb so many more times. He said, I bomb every other night. And I hadn't thought about it like that because I'd done so great the first show.
I was like, able to get through
holy shit. And that's the thing. Most people don't bounce back from that.
Yeah.
So I went back on stage a month later and just started working on it and working on it and working on it. And I got better and better and better. And then 2 years later, I was at that same place. And they said, hey, somebody's canceled on us. Can you stretch your set? Can you go an extra 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever? I go, yeah, I think I can. And I pulled out all that stuff that I had done 2 years earlier and it had bombed, and it rocked. And it was just because I had gotten better at what I was doing. And I mentioned that. I actually mentioned it. I mentioned it to the crowd. I said, I just want to say on a personal note, I did that same shit 2 years ago, and it totally bombed. I just want to say, fuck all those people from 2 years ago. You people get this. Thank you so much. And they started clapping and cheering as I was saying that, because ultimately people want to see the comedian come out on top. They don't mind if you beat yourself up a little bit. They want to see, oh, I can't keep a girlfriend. Oh, my mom's mean to me. But in the end, they want to see the comic win. You know, we always laugh. You
gotta have a happy ending.
You always laugh at the shit that happens to Al Bundy on Married with Children. But ultimately, he got the biggest response when he would come out on top.
Yeah. He would beat someone up or go upstairs with the wife.
Originally, The Simpsons were all about Bart Simpson. Everybody loved Bart Simpson. Gradually, it's evolved, and Homer Simpson is the main character of The Simpsons now because Homer Simpson is us. We can relate to Homer because the Bart. We all thought we were Bart when we were younger.
And we grew up with it.
We're all 20. Wow. We're all 20 years. We're all 20 years older now. Yes. Now we're Homer. We're no longer Bart. And Bart. We have Barts. You know, we have Barts of our own.
That's why the show's lasted so long.
This is very deep.
Right. Well, no, it's a social phenomenon.
It's like you grew with the show.
Yeah, and it's true.
We stopped relating to Bart. Now we love Homer.
That's why most of us left The Simpsons for a while. Our teenage years.
I did for a while.
You know, when you were younger, you watched it, and when you were a teenager and partying, you kind of left it, and now you're back to watching it.
Well, I'm a little bit older than you guys. I started, when The Simpsons came out, it was like 89 or 88 or 89.
Right, yes.
And it was real rough drawings. And the original Simpsons episodes
Tracy Ullman show.
Well, yeah. But the original Simpsons, once they got off the Tracy Ullman show, every show had a feel-good ending. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like and it was more... And people still saw it as this is against the American family, this is wrong, this is bullshit. Yeah. But every show ended with, hey, we love each other, you know, we got you out of this jam, we're a family.
Isn't it amazing how every show is almost the same show?
Yeah. You mean every show in general.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's weird. Every show is the same show. That's why some stuff you don't watch, like I say, I don't like Star Trek. Well, it's not that I don't like it, I just don't watch it. Because I guarantee if I sat and watched it, it'd be pretty much just like a lot of other shows that I do watch, just with different characters and different names. So it's not that you don't like something, it's just that you don't watch it. There's too much out there.
Every now and then, a show comes along that defies that. For example, one of the early examples of this in my experience was Miami Vice. Because Miami Vice, it's a cop show, you shoot shit, you blow shit up, it's drug dealers. But you know what? More times than not, the good guys didn't win on Miami Vice. Yeah. The bad guys win. Yeah. Or the good guys win, but somebody dies. Yeah. You know,
or it's like an Inspector Gadget. The plan's foiled, but the cat guy gets away to do it again.
Right. And that was always cool. It never, Miami Vice never had a nice, happy, bow-tied wrapped up gift ending.
That's when TV started getting more. That's when we fell into the drama, Law and Order era type stuff. I think a little bit after that.
But even Law and Order is a great show because sometimes Law and Order ends badly. You know,
my favorite show ever.
I
don't watch it as much now, but when I look back the last 20 years of watching TV, that show has ruled most of my TV watching life.
I have gotten into CSI. Like the original one, the Vegas one, because I like Vegas.
I tried, I just couldn't get into it. I mean, it's not a bad show. It's just, different styles, different shows. It just doesn't hit my thing.
I dig that. I always watched the Law and Order stuff. Those were always great.
The old ones there, I got them on this Xfinity Stream Picks now, and they got all the way back to the first season.
Oh, that's
cool. And I haven't seen those since I was like 15
years old. Was Lenny on the first season?
No, Lenny didn't come until like.
Who were the first cops? Paul.
I don't know the guy's name. The short, fat guy. And Logan was on there from the beginning.
Logan was the black-haired dude?
No, yeah, the tall, Mr. Big on Sex and the City. That guy. He was on there from the beginning. And then there was a cop. I forget the cop's name, but it wasn't the guy you're thinking of, the dark Italian that plays the mob guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. There was one before him.
But he was on that show, right?
Yeah, he was on that show. Yes, he was. And then he
what is his name?
Or something.
Mr. Big?
No, the fat guy. He was the
Chris Noth is
Chris Noth. Logan that's who you're thinking of. No, the fat dude. He was on.
It's Paul something, ain't it?
It is Paul. It's
Paul Stanley.
Can we Google it?
Producer, fat guy on Law and Order, Paul.
He's
Rubin.
also
Sorvino. Never mind.
Sorvino, yeah.
Sorvino.
He was in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Mira
Sorvino's dad.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I never put that together.
Yeah, Lenny's dead. He died.
Yeah, he died
years ago.
It sucked. No, both. Well, the character left. The character left the show, and I was bummed about that. But then he said maybe I'll come back to help with some.
They brought him in on other shows.
No, he was going to. When he left the one show, he kind of talked like maybe I'll do some investigations for the DA's office. So they would probably plan it, and then he died for real. So that never happened, which kind of sucked. I was bummed because he was my favorite. I liked. Him and Logan together in that show were the best. I always
am surprised when I see Lenny and other things that he did. Like he was the dad in Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. He looks so weird. He plays the cop one so perfect.
Nobody puts Albie in a corner.
Everybody, yeah, okay. All right. Well, this has been fun. We got any last thoughts?
Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, she's hot. Mm-hmm. Did you have fun at the show tonight?
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Would you be willing to come back and do the show again?
For sure.
All right, cool.
I want to do the poker thing.
We will sign you up for the poker thing.
Because then I can have some fun and take some of your money. That'd be nice.
Sure. In closing, let's see. Visit us at bedtimewithbruce.com. You can see all of our archives. You can, send us comments, whatever. We're on the Twitter. Bedtime W Bruce at Twitter, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, at Bedtime W Bruce.
Bedtime W Bruce.
It's on the site.
Tweet me, please.
Just Twitter.
Yeah, because can't you tell he'll tweet you back?
Yeah.
He really knows what he's doing. So
he's
tweet, please. You'll get a response.
He's waiting by his Twitter order to tweet back.
I've got.
You have a Twitter order?
He's got you on speed Twitter.
I don't know what you're talking about. And then bedtimewithbruce@gmail.com. And
I want to know who I look like.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know who Albie looks like.
Would be good to find out.
Let us know who we all look like, please, because we're not happy with who we are.
Yeah, we don't like who we look like.
We'd like to be somebody
George
else.
Clooney or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're like 3 George Clooneys of 3 different stages of George Clooney's decay.
Exactly.
But yeah, so send us a note. If you enjoyed the show, click on any of these ads down here just to help us out. You don't have to buy anything. Just click on it. We get like a nickel every time you do. That'd be cool.
4 cents.
4 cents, yeah. But thanks for joining us, and we've enjoyed having you here, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great night. Come back and see us again next week.
All right.
Thank you.